I was repairing my lake cabin's dock when Karen Miller, HOA tyrant, slapped an eviction notice on my door, claiming my cabin violated lakefront codes on my private county land. Her notice was a grenade, aimed at seizing my sanctuary. Karen, who'd sent fake cops after Alex, targeted Marcus at his pool, and dumped trash in my field, had no idea my security cameras caught her posting the notice. I was Sarah, the 20-year-old farmer, Meadow Mart owner, conservationist, SWAT trainer, tech founder, federal health inspector, sharpshooter, Marine, county sheriff, 911 dispatcher, retired federal judge, police chief, homeland security agent, developer who built Crescent Meadows, designer of its security system, and owner of the lake, dock, and HOA. Her eviction attempt wasn't just baseless, it was trespassing, and I was about to evict their clubhouse built on my land in retaliation. I stood by my cabin, phone filming, as neighbors pinged by my security app gathered furious. This wasn't just a notice. It was Karen's most audacious assault, blind to my ownership of the lake and clubhouse lot. My heart thundered, but a sly grin spread. She thought she could kick me out? I was about to turn her notice into a viral eviction of their own clubhouse, with my sheriff's badge as the lock. What unfolded wasn't just saving my cabin. It was a masterclass in legal retribution, community grit, and comedic justice that left Karen's HOA gutted, their clubhouse locked, and Crescent Meadows cheering. My cabin wasn't just home. It was her downfall, and my eviction was the verdict. Karen's notice was her boldest mistake, and my counterstrike was about to sink her club. Crescent Meadows was a fierce suburb, its golden fields, bustling markets, and my Meadow Mart Cafe, a bold stand against Karen Miller's HOA tyranny. Once choked by rules on non-compliant cabins and unauthorized lake use, it now thrived, with my 50-acre state-leased ranch and lake cabin on unincorporated county land as its heart. My cabin, a rustic retreat by the lake I owned, was HOA exempt, wired with my Crescent Code security system, cameras and sensors I designed. The HOA clubhouse, a gaudy structure they'd built on a lakeside lot I owned, was their hub, unbeknownst to them. I'm Sarah, the 20-year-old farmer, conservationist, SWAT trainer, Meadow Mart owner, tech founder of Crescent Code, federal health inspector, sharpshooter, Marine, county sheriff, 911 dispatcher, retired federal judge, police chief, homeland security agent, developer who built Crescent Meadows, designer of its security system, and owner of the lake dock and HOA, with a fictional ageless fire. I'd crushed Karen 73 times, buying Meadow Mart after her farm stand ban, exposing her assault on Lily, stopping her fishing derby, evicting her fishing club, jailing fake HOA cops, rallying for a pilot's defiance, retrieving my towed tractor, shutting down her cop call on my fence, backing Ibrahim Traore, ejecting her security patrol, protecting the Thompsons, winning court for my wrecked car, defending my mom's Colt stand, exposing her 911 call on Senator Ellison, grounding her, airline stunt, nailing her bank meddling, restoring my water pipe, towing her SUV, saving my mom's nurse, rescuing Emma from her kidnapping, saving Liam from her brick attack, foiling her field grab, scaring her with my bear, Bruno, defending Emma's wheelchair, stopping her 911 call on my ranch, saving Max from her clippers, voiding her lake fine, saving my pool party, recovering my stolen truck, foiling her power theft, stopping her sewage-powered lights, disarming her fake cop, rebuilding my sister's bridge, proving I owned her mortgage, stopping her assault on my wife, Alex, ejecting her trespassing officers, shutting off her pipeline, proving my Lamborghini legit, turning my lawn into an obstacle course, outshooting the FBI, stopping her fake cop arrest, handling her 911 abuse, rescuing my kids from her kidnapping, towing her Mustangs from my garage, trapping her at her gate, burying her porch in mulch, spiking her SUV on my lawn, closing her trails for my hunting, proving I built the suburb, jailing her for hitting Max, rebuilding the Thompsons' house, turning her trails in my hunting ground, catching her spying on my yard, suspending her board for burning my boat, nailing her for her 911 call on my rain tanks, foiling her eviction over my cabin, burying her in pennies for her fines, towing her car for blocking my driveway, reclaiming my cabin after her sale, sinking her cop's truck with Grandpa's tractor, evicting her fishing club with Marcus, arresting her for breaking into my garage, busting her 911 call on my pool, stopping her fake cop arrest, seizing her HOA with my deed clause, crushing her motorbike ban, locking her pool access, charging her for felling my tree, returning her trash with interest, nailing her for my gym's 911 call, defending Marcus's home from her 911 stunt, backing Marcus at his pool, and stopping fake cops from tossing Alex. My share of powers and land ownership were my latest weapons. Karen Miller, mid-50s, was a cornered bully, her clipboard a flimsy prop. Exiled and bankrupted, she'd issued a fake eviction notice. Unaware the clubhouse sat on my land and my cameras rolled. Her scheme, backed by a ragged HOA board, relied on forged lakefront rules, blind to my deeds. Key allies included Alex, my Delta Force operative wife, Marcus Thompson, Navy SEAL and lake owner, Mia, my nurse sister, Jake, my Marine brother, Vince, Iron Riders biker leader, Ellen, my sharpshooter mom, Tom, my biologist friend, Linda, the councilwoman, Lily, my waitress turned leader, Grandpa Joe, our tractor-driving patriarch, and Deputy Harris, my SWAT deputy. Agent Laura Chun, my FBI contact, was ready to escalate. The Crescent Meadows Forum, our digital hub, would amplify the fight. The setting was a crisp September morning in 2025 at my lake cabin's dock, where Karen's notice flapped and my cameras recorded. Neighbors, alerted by my app, gathered in outrage. Karen's eviction was a scam, and her ignorance of my ownership was her fatal error. This wasn't just about a cabin. It was Karen's assault on our freedom. For me, it was a chance to protect my home, evict her clubhouse, and unite Crescent Meadows. As I filmed, I knew this fight would echo our victories and ripple with our spirit. Karen's eviction notice was a fraudulent power grab. Non-compliant structure, it declared, citing fake lakefront codes on my private land. I filmed, voice steady. "This is my cabin, Karen. Your notice is trash." My cameras caught her taping it to my door. I radioed Harris, who snorted, "Trespassing and fraud? She's evicted." Ellen texted my lake deed, saying Karen sunk. Linda vowed to bring county officials, noting, "Trying to evict a sheriff? Jail." I called Chun, who snapped, "This is FBI-level property fraud." Neighbors swarmed, filming the notice. My forum post exploded. HOA tried to evict me from my cabin. I'm evicting their clubhouse. Hashtags HOA eviction fail and hashtag Sarah Strikes Back trended, hitting 235 million views. Jake livestreamed from Meadowmart, showing my footage and deed. Crescent Meadows fights with Sarah, he said, hitting 240 million views. Lily handed out flyers about property laws, explaining Sarah owns the lake and clubhouse lot. Karen's a liar. Karen's board cronies a trio with signs, lakefront rules. Tried to defend her, but neighbors drowned them out, chanting Sarah's cabin. Mia shared my share of credentials, proving my clout. I shared my clip. Karen's eviction's a scam. I own their clubhouse land. The video hit 3.5 billion views. Marcus arrived, saying she targeted me too. I am testifying. His sealed presence rattled the cronies. Harris's SWAT team and Chen's FBI unit arrived, inspecting the notice. Forged document, Chun said, noting the clubhouse's location on my land. I flashed my sheriff badge, live streaming. Karen tried to evict me. I'm evicting her clubhouse for trespassing. The stream hit 17.5 billion views, with news helicopters circling. Comments flooded. Sarah's a legend. Karen's done. Linda arrived with a federal prosecutor, announcing Karen's notice is felony fraud. The crowd chanted evict, evict, as the cronies fled. The FBI found Karen at the clubhouse, clutching a fake code book. Harris detained her as I posted eviction notices on the clubhouse doors, citing their trespass on my lot. Karen rambled, "It's our lake," but Chun held up my deed and footage. "You're under investigation," she said. The forum planned a lake-free day at my cabin, with music and lake rallies. Karen's lie about codes collapsed. My deed was ironclad. The stage was set, not just to save my cabin, but to evict her clubhouse and rally Crescent Meadows around my justice. Her notice was her end, and my eviction was our victory. My lake cabin was a fortress of justice. Karen stood detained at the clubhouse, sweating, as Harris and Chun reviewed her fake book. My eviction notices gleamed on the clubhouse doors, padlocks ready to seal their fate. The livestream hit 18.5 billion views, with hashtag HOA eviction fail and hashtag Sarah strikes back trending globally. Neighbors packed the lakefront, waving signs, Sarah's cabin, no huascams. News crews broadcast live, anchors calling it a sheriff's cabin versus HOA fraud. The air roared, and I was ready to lock Karen's clubhouse. Tom addressed the crowd, voice steady. Sarah owns the lake and clubhouse lot, per her deed. Karen's eviction notice is fraud. He showed my footage and property records, proving her crime. Neighbors cheered, sharing the clips online. Ellen handed out flyers, saying, Sarah's sheriff and lake owner. Karen's a trespasser. The forum surged. Karen's a fraud. Sarah's our hero. A viral tweet read, HOA tries to evict sheriff from her cabin. She evicts their clubhouse. Hashtag Sarah strikes back. Karen yelled, it's our clubhouse. But Chin held up my deed, stating, you committed fraud and trespassing. Her face fell. She hadn't known my ownership. Property rights groups joined X, posting, Karen's attack on Sarah's cabin is a disgrace. Support Crescent Meadows. The Change.org petition, Justice for Sarah's Cabin, hit 240 million signatures, with comments like Sarah's a legend and Karen's done. Linda spoke to reporters, voice firm. Sarah's leadership and cabin are our pride. Karen's fraud threatens us all. She announced a council motion to fine the HOA $4.4 million and affirm my lake control. The crowd roared, chanting lake free. The board leaked text disavowing Karen. She's rogue. Neighbors guarded my cabin, as Vince's biker crew patrolled the lake. I grabbed the megaphone, heart pounding. Karen tried to evict me from my cabin, but I'm sheriff. I own the lake and clubhouse lot, and I'm evicting her club. I proposed a lake-free day at my cabin, with lake swims, music, and a fundraiser for land rights, inviting all. The crowd cheered, volunteering to lock the clubhouse. I shared online, Karen's eviction failed. Join us for Lake Free Day. The livestream hit 19.5 billion views, with hashtag Lake Free Day trending. Comments flooded. Sarah's unstoppable. Karen's locked out. Karen made a last stand, yelling at Chun, I'm in charge. But Rachel, my attorney, arrived with a federal complaint. You're investigated for fraud, trespass, and conspiracy, she said, as Harris escorted her out. The crowd parted, phones filming as I padlocked the clubhouse, posting evicted for trespassing signs. Jake's stream hit 37 billion views, with comments like, bye Karen. Cabin wins. News ran headlines. 20-year-old sheriff evicts HOA clubhouse after cabin scam. Lily organized kids to paint lake-free signs, while Tom tied it to my lake bluefins, saying Sarah protects our shores. Harris secured the clubhouse, and neighbors cheered as locks clicked shut. Chun verified my deed, and Linda promised county funding for a Crescent Shores sign, marking my lake status. The stage was set for a victory that would save my cabin, end Karen's reign, and show Crescent Meadows' power. Karen was detained, but my clubhouse eviction would shock everyone. The federal courthouse roared with justice as Karen faced trial, my cabin standing proud by the lake. The livestream hit 38 billion views, with hashtag HOA eviction fail and hashtag Sarah strikes back trending worldwide. Neighbors packed the gallery, waving lake-free signs as news crews filmed. I stood in my sheriff uniform, my roles as sheriff, lake owner, and HOA owner now a verdict. My evidence are blade, ready to bury Karen. Judge Rivera, a federal veteran, called order. Ms. Miller, you're charged with fraud, trespass, and conspiracy, he said. Rachel presented my footage, showing Karen's notice. The plaintiff owns the lake and clubhouse lot, she said. The gallery cheered, phones filming for the forum, where comments surged. Karen's done. Sarah's our hero. Chin testified, voice sharp. Karen's notice violated federal property laws, targeting private land. She showed the forged book, sparking gasps. Linda announced the council's $4.4 million HOA fine and dissolution. The crowd chanted Lake, Lake, as kids waved painted waves, symbols of our win. Tom showed my deed and Clubhouse records, proving my ownership. Sarah's eviction sank her, he said, sparking applause. I unveiled a Crescent Shores signed sketch, county-backed, to mark my lake. This cabin's mine, and Karen's guilty, I said, sharing it online, a ripple under a federal seal. The forum erupted. Perfect. Sarah's legacy. Rivera reviewed the evidence, footage, deed, book, calling it undeniable. Karen, pleading not guilty, claimed, it's HOA policy. But Rachel played her posting the notice, exposing her lies. Rivera ruled, guilty on all counts. 12 years for Miller, $5.7 million in damages to Sarah, and HOA dissolution. The gallery roared as Karen slumped, broken. My digital dossier, footage, deed, complaint was handed to the press, ensuring conviction. News ran it live. 20-year-old sheriff evicts HOA clubhouse after cabin scam. The crowd surged, music blaring, as Lake Free Day plans took shape. I gave the mic to Marcus, who grinned. Sarah's lake is our pride, he said. Neighbors hugged him, guarding my cabin in solidarity. This wasn't just Karen's defeat. It was Crescent Meadows' triumph, proof our community could outshine fraud. As my cabin stood firm, justice prevailed. Karen's conviction was Crescent Meadows' victory. News ran headlines like Sheriff Evicts HOA Clubhouse after cabin scam and Sarah Shore's triumph. The livestream hit 41 billion views, with hashtag Sarah Strikes Back trending for weeks. Fan art of the Shore sign as a justice symbol flooded the forum, and property rights groups invited me to speak. Talk shows called, but I stayed grounded, saying this is about our community. Lake Free Day was a sensation. Thousands joined, neighbors, kids, Harris's team, swimming, dancing, and unveiling the Crescent Shores sign. Meadowmark catered, and Tom led eco talks, tying the lake to our unity. The event raised $20.5 million for land rights, and state leaders hailed it as a model. The forum buzzed with photos. Sarah's lake shines. No more Karens. The HOA was eradicated. Linda's vote fined it $4.4 million and dissolved it, with new laws banning fake evictions. Karen got 12 years, was banned from Crescent Meadows, and vanished to a prison cell, reportedly arguing over rules. Don't evict like Karen became a local joke painted on docks. My cabin became a tourist draw, with visitors snapping shore selfies. Meadow Mart and my lake event soared, the cafe hosting Shores nights with music and justice talks. Tourists flocked to Sarah's cabin, boosting sales. Neighbors brought gifts, mini Ripple's sheriff patches, saying my fight inspired them. Tom's data showed the lake thriving, celebrated at a community feast. The digital dossier, footage, deed, verdicts was studied for property laws, influencing policy. Lily mentored kids, painting eco signs for the lake. The forum planned a Shores Fest with swims, music, and SWAT demos, cementing our spirit. Sarah turned Karen's notice into our triumph. One post read, I hired teens to patrol the lake, giving them pride. At the fest, under a Shores Forever banner, Linda toasted, to Sarah, Marcus, Alex, and Crescent Meadows, where cabins defeat tyrants. Fireworks burst, kids danced, and the lake glowed. Karen's notice had been a spark, but we'd built a legacy. My cabin, Meadow Mart, and our suburb were our stronghold, proof no bully could claim our shores. As stars shone, I knew Crescent Meadows would always stand proud, free, and unstoppable.